Hello everyone, and we'll start today's lesson with some Spanish tricky sounds. 4 questions plus a bonus picture clue. Look at the tricky sounds along the bottom and decide which is the correct one to fill in the gap on each word. Pause the video, give yourself a minute to fill in those words. Let's see how you did. Number 1, the missing tricky sound was the ñ, which gives us that ñ sound. Señora, meaning Mrs. Number 2, the missing letters was the double R, that gives us that rolling R sound, R, and that is for the word perro, meaning dog. Number 3, the tricky sound there was the letter J, which is jota in Spanish for that j sound, for the word orejas, which means ears. And finally, number 4, the missing tricky sound was the letter C, which comes out a bit more like a th for the word gracias, meaning thank you. And our bonus picture clue is the colour yellow, which in Spanish is amarillo. And I've underlined that double L so that you know that that actually is pronounced more like a Y sound and not an L, amarillo. So welcome to today's lesson, where we are going to be talking about seesaw sentences which you can use to extend your answers when giving opinions. Before we begin our practice, let's just do some revision with our opinion phrases. Sort these opinions from hate to love. You can use the worksheet to fill in your answers. Pause the video and take a minute to sort them from hate to love. Let's see how you did. So starting on the left-hand side with our hate, we're going to start with odio. You can say this after me, odio. Next we would have no me gusta. You try saying it. Followed by prefiero. Then me gusta. Then me gusta mucho, I really like, and finally, me encanta, I love. Here we have a table of adjectives, some positive, some negative. Pause the video and give yourself a minute or two to translate these words. You can fill them in on the space provided on the activity sheet. How did you do? Try repeating these words after me. Bonito, which means pretty. You will notice that on many of these adjectives there is an O/A. That is because we need to change the spelling depending on if the noun that it's describing is masculine or feminine. So you could have bonito or bonita. The next word, guapo, good looking. Grande, big. Make sure you're repeating after me. Útil, useful. Interesante, interesting. Fascinante, fascinating. Tranquilo, peaceful or quiet. Educativo, educational. Divertido, fun. Alto, tall. Generoso, generous. Gracioso, funny. Animado, lively. Relajante, relaxing. And now our negative adjectives, and again you can see that they all have that O/A because we have to change the spelling depending on what we are describing. So our first one, feo, ugly. Pequeño, small. Inútil, useless. Aburrido, boring. Ruidoso, noisy. Asqueroso, disgusting. Serio, serious. Bajo, short. Tonto, silly. Irritante, irritating or annoying. And finally, perezoso, lazy. So back to today's lesson, and here you can see a seesaw, and that's to illustrate this idea of this seesaw opinion. We start with a positive opinion and justification. That means giving a reason. And then, like a seesaw, we've got this pivot in the middle by way of a connective. And my three examples here are pero, but, también, also, and sin embargo, however. And then to show that balance, we then finish with a negative opinion and justification. So let's look at an example. In a writing test, you might see something like this, a bullet point followed by tus pasatiempos. In this example, you are being asked to write about your free time. If we follow the seesaw approach, you might write a sentence like this. En mi tiempo libre me gusta bailar porque es activo, pero no me gusta el fútbol porque es aburrido. You try reading it aloud. And this means, in my free time, I like to dance because it's active, but I don't like football because it's boring. Pause the video and have a go at question 1 and 2 on the worksheet. Another way we can extend our sentences is by using frequency words, words that tell you how often you do something, and qualifiers, words that tell you how much something happens. Give yourself a couple of minutes, pause the video, and see if you can translate these words. You can fill them in on the space provided on the worksheet. How did you get on? Try repeating these words after me. Siempre. Always. Todos los días. Every day. A menudo. Often. De vez en cuando. From time to time. A veces. Sometimes. Nunca. Never. And our qualifiers, realmente, really, muy, very, mucho, a lot, bastante, quite, demasiado, too, un poco, a bit. If we go back to our earlier example, we can see how we can extend further our sentence using frequency words and qualifiers. En mi tiempo libre me gusta bailar mucho porque es activo, pero no me gusta el fútbol porque es siempre aburrido. Now you try reading aloud. And in English, this means, in my free time, I like dancing a lot because it's active, but I don't like football because it's always boring. Pause the video and have a go at question 3 and 4 on the worksheet. And finally, we can improve our sentences further by saying what someone else thinks. If we go back to our earlier example, we can see how we can improve this by giving someone else's opinion. En mi tiempo libre me gusta bailar mucho porque es activo, pero no me gusta el fútbol porque es siempre aburrido. Sin embargo, a mi hermano le encanta el fútbol porque piensa que es realmente divertido. You try reading it aloud. And in English, that means in my free time, I like dancing a lot because it's active, but I don't like football because it's always boring. However, my brother loves football because he thinks it's really fun. Now pause the video and complete questions 5 to 7 on the worksheet.